4.8 stars across 4,003 reviews. And the Switch 2 looks like the easy upgrade until you hit the portable catch. The Nintendo Switch 2 system is listed at $449 and positioned as the next evolution of Switch, TV, tabletop, and handheld in one device. The real question is whether the bigger screen, stronger performance, and new controls outweigh the battery complaints. In the main box photo, Nintendo keeps the pitch simple. Red packaging, the console, the dock, and the two Joy-Con 2 controllers right up front. It immediately sells this as a complete living room and portable system, not just a handheld screen. The headline upgrade is not one single trick. It is the combination. A larger 9-inch LCD touchscreen, HDR support, up to 120 frames per second, and a dock that supports 4K when connected to a compatible TV. That matters because owners are not just saying it is newer. They are repeatedly praising performance, graphics, and gameplay, with performance getting 204 mentions, and most of those being positive. This wide product photo shows the full idea. The console in handheld mode, the dock in the center, a TV behind it, and separate controller setups on the sides. That is the Switch promise in one frame. Keep moving between screens. My take is that the most important upgrade is the screen and performance together. A bigger display sounds obvious, but when owners describe games as crisp, fluid, smoother, and more immersive, that is where the upgrade starts to feel less cosmetic. The second proof point is the controller change. Joy-Con 2 controllers attach magnetically, and the product data says they now offer mouse controls, which is a real design shift rather than just a button refresh. In this close product shot, the Joy-Con 2 controllers sit beside the dock and grip, with the blue and orange accents standing out against the darker hardware. Visually, it looks more mature than toy-like. Here is where the owner feedback gets interesting. The top praise is not only that the Switch 2 is fun, but that games run beautifully, graphics look better, and the system feels like a real step up from the original Switch. For real-world use, the biggest advantage is still flexibility. The Switch 2 can sit on a TV, stand on a table, or go fully handheld, and that is why family-friendly feedback is entirely positive in the data provided. There is no direct competitor data in the Amazon scrape, so the honest comparison is against its own trade-offs. On one side, you get a 9-inch screen, 256 gigabytes of internal storage, and 4K dock support. On the other, the base system does not remove every extra cost. This front dock photo is the cleanest view of the living room setup. The console is seated in the dock with the Joy-Con 2 controllers on both sides, which is exactly the version most families will see under the TV. The trade-off starts with what is not included in the headline excitement. MicroSD Express expansion is supported, but the card is sold separately. Games and accessories can push the real ownership cost beyond the $449 system price. That said, the social proof is strong. 4.8 out of 5 stars across 4,003 ratings is a serious signal. And the most common praise categories are performance, reliability, value for money, graphics, gameplay, screen size, and family use. A quick motion cut matters here because the feedback is not abstract. Owners are describing smoother games, better visuals, and a system that feels solid in both docked and handheld play. But before the verdict, keep this tension in mind. The reviews strongly reward the upgrade, while the biggest complaint hits the exact thing that makes Switch different. If you care about portable play, that catch decides everything. The best part of the feedback is performance. Out of 204 performance mentions, 194 are positive, and owners describe games as running beautifully, with some saying the system feels powerful enough for bigger titles. That is the kind of praise that matters more than a spec sheet. A faster console is only useful if people actually feel it in games, and the review data says many owners do. The second strong positive is reliability. The data shows 93 reliability mentions, with 68 positive, and owners report that the system works as advertised, including compatibility with old games in the provided review summary. This lifestyle photo shows a person relaxed on a couch using the Switch 2 handheld, and that is the emotional pitch. It is not only a console for a TV stand, it is something you can casually pick up and keep playing. Now for the downside. Battery life has 54 mentions, and the sentiment is almost evenly split, 28 positive and 26 negative. That is not a tiny complaint hiding in the margins. This is why portable expectations matter. If you mostly play docked, battery complaints may fade into the background. If you want long unplugged sessions, the mixed feedback becomes much harder to ignore. The other caution is value. Value for money is mostly positive, with 64 positive mentions out of 85. But there are still buyers calling it a bit overpriced. At $449 before games, that concern is fair. So here's the catch from the hook. The Switch 2 gets praised for being more powerful and more portable, but battery life is the most cited drawback. The better the handheld experience looks, the more that battery split matters. Before the final verdict, there are 4 things to know. Storage starts at 256 gigabytes. Expansion uses microSD express cards sold separately. The dock supports 4K only with a compatible TV, and battery feedback is mixed. This rear view shows the darker, more understated side of the hardware, with the back of the console and dock visible. It is not flashy from behind, but it looks clean and purpose-built. The screen is one of the safest reasons to upgrade. The data lists a larger 7.9-inch LCD touchscreen with HDR support, and owner feedback specifically praises the bigger, clearer, more stunning screen. The final proof cut belongs to the play modes. The Switch 2 still wins by letting you move from TV to tabletop to handheld, and the new hardware is clearly built around that same flexibility. This tabletop image shows the console propped up with separate Joy-Con 2 controllers nearby. It is the clearest reminder that the Switch 2 is not just handheld or docked. Tabletop play remains part of the design. Verdict: the Nintendo Switch 2 system makes the most sense for Switch owners who wanted a bigger screen, smoother games, stronger TV support, and better family flexibility. I would hesitate only if long battery life is your top priority, or if $449 before extras already feels stretched. If this helped you decide whether the Switch 2 fits your setup, give the video a like and subscribe for more review breakdowns based on real product data and owner feedback.